All right, rock and roll, rock and roll. There we go. I'm never going to get sick of that intro. It's fresh. I just need to put. Maybe we can change the soundtrack to it each week or something different.
It's timeless.
Or maybe we'll put like a cheap jokes sig fig and have him explode instead of the wall and the.
Maybe.
There we go.
Right.
All right. People, good on you. Episode 29. We are, when you think about it like that, 29 weeks straight of this thing. So we're doing something right. We're doing something a little bit good. But I guess we've got to put it out there. The big elephant in the room from the States, Mr. Mel, ICEBERG Bricks. Probably I'm gonna put it out there. Our favorite guest finally up on the stream. How are you, my man?
Good. What's going down, man? What's going down?
Just the usual. Kind of sit back and talk about a brick or two, and we'll get through our Monday night and your Monday morning.
Monday morning.
And
Nice
you
and
get to see the whole stream for once and not just show up for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. For those that obviously don't know that I just joining in now as well, Mel was part of the US Lego Masters. Done really well with his buddy Jermaine, aka BX Bricks. So make sure we check them out and put all the links and all that kind of stuff underneath. But before that, Mel and myself and Bilsy, we used to be part of an older Lego stream that used to be here in Australia 3 years ago. Every Friday night. It was very much it was started off Lego talk and then just went south. Really. But it was fun, and that's how, obviously, that's how we all met, and that's how we all started chatting. And then, fast forward now, we were actually supposed to go and visit Mel in April this year.
Yeah,
over there, but COVID ruined that. It has ruined a lot of plans for most people. So it'll still happen.
Yeah.
Either that, or you'll have to come over here. Either way.
Yeah, either way. It's safe over there, man. It ain't safe here, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think, we even opened the borders today to a bubble for New Zealand now, so you can travel back and forward to New Zealand with no worries.
Nice.
So it's you got to come down here, man. It's all good.
Yeah, man. People too touchy-feely over here, so they'll never be safe.
Oh, you haven't met Bilsy when he's drunk, then?
I just realized I can't remember my last high five. It's been that long.
Your last high five?
Yeah, the last time I high fived someone, I'm not even joking around now. I just literally haven't done it in so long.
But are you doing the elbow thing?
Oh, no, fuck the elbow thing. Sorry.
I love it.
No, I find that ridiculous.
All right, yeah. Or you do the awkward. You got to do it. They go. Just make it even worse. Yeah. All right. So before we jump into, I guess, Lego Masters and all that kind of stuff, Mel, give us, I guess, a rundown of what's your Lego theme, your favorites, what were you kind of before a master, I guess you could say.
I'm definitely a fan of the surround guy. I got a little bit more melatonin to my face. I'm mostly into the superheroes line, like the Marvel. Big Marvel fan. So I love the Marvel. I love most of the buildings, like the modular buildings that come up. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. And then when Ninjago was a hot thing, man, I was all over the Ninjago stuff. And now they fell off. So
it's funny that you say that too, because would I be right in saying that? I remember when we first started talking, like, you haven't been a crazy Lego nerd for years and years and years, have you?
Only probably about coming up on 4 now. So
and look at that.
Yeah.
And you've got all these people. Damn you! How'd you get that far?
Yeah, man. A lot of people got mad. A lot of people were mad, and it's funny because, like, even so, like, I'm social media aware, right? And I read the stuff like Reddit and all that other stuff. And you know, I think the production company gave exclusive content to a person that I guess the guy's from Canada or something, and he's ripping me and Jermaine like crazy, like ripping us. Like I'm just like, wait a minute, dude. And so I probably should have not declined that interview. I probably should have just did that one-on-one interview with him and just rip him right on his show. I probably should have did that, but I was so mad that I declined the interview. But I probably should have took that one. You know, I regret.
You're too nice anyway. I don't think I've ever seen you get mad.
Yeah. I mean, there was a little segment on before Lego Masters that I used to do called the it was the Free Zone, and I used to just roast somebody, and even then I never got mad. It was just like a Andrew Dice Clay type of segment, you know. If you ever, it was like that, you know, where I'm just constantly roasting that one person, and you know,
you're like the dad, you know. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Right.
Okay, so then, other than the Canadian guys roast, what would have been the worst dig at you, or you know, the comment online that kind of like, oh come on, man, that's a bit hard.
Yeah. Just the fact that they said that, what was it? That we were like, I don't know, mediocre or subpar, like we didn't measure up to the talent that was in the room. Like, really, friend? Yeah. like really, friend? Like, you know, I didn't get over there because of my boyish good looks. They already had two young guys that would, you know, that look like Superman. You know, like they you know, that's what girls go for, right? And you know, I'm not a clean shaven dude, so that was out. You know, so you know, I mean. You know, and let's call a spade, right? They already had a black couple, so it wasn't that neither. So it wasn't that they wasn't making a quota, you know. So that a little bit of that has to be a you know, that I can break, and maybe I can open my mouth a little bit, and you know, maybe that was a lot about of it. Like I could talk and just open my mouth.
Totally.
You know, I'm not standing there just looking at the camera, looking, and you know. But you know, we could brick a little bit, you know, and I think that's what it is that a lot of people think that, you know, they're gonna pick the person that was like, you know, the most talented in the room that knows how to brick, and that's it. And that's necessarily that. So that doesn't make good TV. And I think that's where you get the people that, oh well, that guy shouldn't be up there, you know. You know, my 16-year-old son got more talent, you know, and can put bricks together better than him. He may have, you know, But was
that my partner that said that to you, or you know?
I never experienced like a partner to partner type of tension, and so your situation was very special. And actually, your situation, sir, actually set the ground rules for everything else. That's how two teams on my season got made, because of your stuff. That's how they got made. Let's go. Yeah, you got a partner. We don't care about your partner. We're gonna set you up with this person that you don't even like.
Why not? Why not?
Do you find a lot of these people who get dirty on you guys and yourself as well, Bilsy, are the ones who didn't make it through the audition? They didn't make it on the show. They're the ones who are the most dirty.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, totally, man. And them, and then like, you know, just people in general, like, you know, like, and I think that's what it is that, and what's so funny is that you'll hear that, you know, oh, you see a video, oh, you know, Lego Masters called me, but I turned them down. Nah, it doesn't quite work that way. Like, there's a long line of process before you can get a phone call and say, hey, you know, that's just like somebody having a job fair. Hey, come down to the job fair. Oh, I got a job. No, not quite. You know, there's a process before you actually get the job. There's paperwork and stuff you got to fill out before you just, you know, get on the show.
I have a feeling the producers have like X amount of applications they need to get to meet a quota, and that's what they're doing. They're just trying to get applications in to meet that number.
Oh, it's happening now, Chief. It's happening now, like where, like, I think they secured their talent, like their brick talent. So you got the brick talent, and then you have the fool around talent. Like, we need somebody that, you know, to make TV. So I think now they're looking for talent to make TV, because they have their brick talent, And so now everybody's getting their inboxes flooded. Hey, you know, apply for Lego Masters, because they have their skill talent. Now it's time to fill those gaps and to actually have a TV show that people would watch. Like, man, that guy really said that.
And they got the diversity bucket as well. They got a few people they put in there.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Got to fill up those numbers.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, it's if you wanted to make a TV show that was just brick builders, there's 30 YouTube channels that you can just restream their channel. You know, there's some wicked brick builders, but they're not entertaining TV.
No, I mean, think about it. It's like, you know, a brick builder is an artist, right?
Yeah.
And so you figure if you had, I don't know, like, let's see, 20 people, 20 Bob Ross painting in the room, it's probably going to get pretty dry. Like, you know, Bob Ross never cracked a joke. It's probably going to be, and you're probably going to just change the channel to the next station because it's going to, and that's what it is. It's like, you know, people think that, you know, this is a fun toy, right? It's a fun toy. It is. But, you know, we don't play without bricks. We create, right? We're artists. And so, you know, it's almost like watching Bob Ross paint. You know, it can get a little bit silent. It can get a little bit boring, you know, not for us, for the people that are watching. So
and the people that are the artists and are into Lego, like you said, you know, they'll go and watch the Bob Ross videos. They'll go and watch the ICEBERG brick DIY type thing. They won't, you know, it's the mums, dads, and the kids that want to see the bridge break. Yeah. And then that's I guess that's a perfect. You need the characters. And I guess that's the best part, and, you know, a good segue into what we'll talk about now is obviously we'll go through each episode, and that's the perfect designing as they design each episode. You know, it's 10% brick and 90% fun and exciting and story and everything else that's going to grab the people's attention. Not that, oh, you did that with a slope and you did that with a, you know, 1x8. That's insane.
Right. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I mean, unless you watch like the you know, the Australia show or the Netherlands show, where like you can see, but I think the network just focused on a brick talent just a little bit more than the somatics, and you can see the quality of a build, right? You can see the real quality. I think, you know, that was worth watching for me, but I don't know about their ratings. You know, I don't know what, you know, maybe it wasn't that exciting over there. Maybe, you know, but
number one. You just say number one every night.
They won an award, like.
Yeah. We're both seasons now. Season 1 and season 2 in Australia both took out the reality TV shows in Australia.
Yeah. We didn't. Well, number one, I'm looking at our show, right, and they just like the categories that they got nominated for was like for the director or the producer, something like that. Nothing with the talent. It was like, oh, really, friend? Like, oh,
really?
So it was like, all right, well, you know, why have a dramatic show if you ain't going into the categories for the drama, right? Like as for a reality show, and it was all for like the director, the producer. It's like what?
The stuff that doesn't really count for the actual show content. Yeah.
So,
all right, let me just quickly go through this chat. Oh, there you go. Talking about overseas Lego Masters. Bjorn from, was it the Netherlands? Bjorn's from, I think. He was the Netherlands one.
Yeah, that's right.
Chat, man. Wicked ferry, wicked boat too. We talked about his boat a few weeks ago. He built that massive $1 billion yacht thing.
Yeah.
That was next level. Brickles, I enjoyed that, mate. It was a good show. I mean, all right, let's the good and bad, I think, and this is perfect because like your show was definitely produced different to ours. I didn't like the animation. I mean, I don't know if you did or not. I think I didn't need it. No,
it didn't. It didn't need the animation, and I don't know if there's any Will Arnett fans. You know, it really didn't need the Will Arnett show. It did. You know, Will Arnett funny guy. Don't get me wrong, he's a funny guy, but it really didn't need the Will Arnett show. I think if you scale back a lot of that Will Arnett stuff going on, and that animation and all those, you know, guest appearances, if you scale that back, you would actually have a reality TV show. You would, you know.
They had to justify their $10 million.
Yeah, it needs It needs a celebrity host. Who would you pick then, Iceberg?
If I needed a celebrity host, shoot, I would pick a real comedian.
A real comedian.
like Arnett.
Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart.
Arnett does comedic shows, but he's not a stand-up comedian. I would
Eddie Murphy.
stand-up comedian. Maybe somebody like Bill Burr or like
Aziz would be
Chris
fantastic.
Rock or somebody is just going to tell a joke to make something funny.
Yeah,
His comedy's very forced.
Yeah.
Like as you said, he is a funny guy, but on the show it portrayed as over the top and very forced and unnecessary. It literally was the Will Arnett show.
Yeah. And see, somebody just put in like Chris Pratt. See, those are actors, right? So like even like with Will Arnett, he's an actor. Like, he'll tell you, I grew up with Legos and my kids got Legos at home. So it's letting you know that he don't Lego. Right.
I think
so it's like so it's like, all right, you're trying too hard, like, and it's cool, it's cool. Not everybody do what we do. But you can see that, people thought he was a shoo-in because, oh man, it's the voice of Lego Batman. Yeah, he got paid to do an acting job, dude. That doesn't mean.
And he did good acting. He did great acting.
He's good.
He's reading off a script. Yeah.
Right.
Brent, what's up, Brent? Brent just Ken Jeong.
Oh,
man, that would have been
fantastic.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, man. He and Ken is like the king of reality TV now. Who would have thought of that? Like the guy from Hangover.
and real life doctor too, isn't he?
Yeah, an actual doctor.
He would have been
Community.
Perfect. He's a real stand-up guy. Like he's a comedian.
Eddie Murphy is my call.
Old.
As long as you can relate Raw and Delirious era into Lego, mate, you're laughing.
Yeah. I tell you what they did. Like they did some producers magic, right? And so they had Will Arnett actually say like some dirty down jokes to get a laugh out of us, and then they go back and clean up. He'll say something real bland, and then you see us laughing. Well, we wasn't laughing at that joke. We were laughing because he done cut somebody out. And so so you had a lot of editing there. You had with our story. I mean, I think with the U.S. story, they wanted to know your backstory a lot. And like with mine, it's like, oh, you're a police officer. You work with kids. That's very compelling and blah 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 blah. But I wasn't having a baby. I wasn't a newlywed having a baby. So more about that. And I don't talk about that situation. And so it's they really harped on your background story, but here's the thing: is that they didn't tell everybody's background story, so you didn't know nothing about a lot of the teams because it wasn't enough time edited into the reels for that because it was the Will Arnett show. So,
but they did tell the world that Kale called himself a DILF. So that was all right, we got a question for you, man. What did you think of the judges?
I think the judges were great. I think they couldn't pick anybody else that was any better because you had people that was immersed into the culture before the culture was cool.
Yeah.
So I think Amy and Jamie were great, and not only that is that now I honestly I don't know them personally because we don't go out and have drinks, right?
Yeah.
But during on set they would tell you, hey, look, I like how you're doing this, but you need to fix X, Y, Z. And so, and they would give you pointers on how they want what they wanted, so they never left you astray. So they so while they're judging you, they're teaching you. And I appreciate that,
for sure.
They give you a shot, they didn't just shoot you down,
All right. Episode 1, Dream Park Theme Park. What went through what was your first thought for building that?
So I'm gonna tell my age. I'm gonna tell my age. I'm 40. I'm 41 years old. And when I was in college, right, the Sims amusement park was the game to have on the PC. And when that banner hit, that's the first thing I thought. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna build the Egyptian park. And even though like that whole canvas was green and stuff like that, so we grabbed our table. I asked Jermaine, I said, which table we get? He said, the one on the far corner. I said, all right, I'm gonna get it. He said, you gonna get it? He's like, how you gonna get it? You got all these people. I said, don't worry about it, I'm gonna get it. I'm fast, pretty fast. I can get it. and I got that corner, and he was like, man, like, yeah, that was pretty quick. And so I was like, I was telling him, I said, hey man, look, this is what I'm thinking. I said, we do a Pharaoh Sands theme park. He said, what do you mean? Egyptian style theme park. He said, that means that this whole thing is going to be all sand. I said, yeah, I know. So you need to hurry up, grab a brick separator, and let's pop off all this green. Let's put some sand down. Right. And so it was a daunting task with changing the whole canvas. But when they showed the shot of all the theme parks, I'll stick out. You could just point us out because our real estate is totally different from everybody else's. And I just knew that. I was like, all right, yeah, this is going to compel us. And here's the funny thing, Bilsy. Here's the funny thing is that when it was time for liberation, right, and the judges are running down everything, everybody's telling their story except for us. Amy and Jamie tells us our story. We even had a hidden Easter egg, and they found a hidden Easter egg, and they told the whole story. And basically, we had Indiana Jones coming out of the Pharaoh slide with the treasure, running all the way up in there, and he's hiding, waiting for the train to come inside the eagle's head, right? And so and the judges told us our whole entire story. We didn't get to say anything. And that's why you just see us going, thank you, right? And we're thinking we're all the way at top. Yeah, we're top two, we dapping everybody. Just, we get there and they say the top two. And I'm looking at Jermaine looking at me, and I'm like, ain't this about a like what just happened? Like what happened? I thought I was in it. Like, but like, they cut all that stuff out, right?
Yeah, okay.
They make you look real mediocre. And I can kind of relate to, if I was a person watching, I'd be, man, how things guys think they can get in there with, with that Boone and Mark or Aaron and Christian, man. Aaron and Christian's, his thing was, that space wheel, that Ferris wheel. Everybody has at home in the set. That Ferris wheel, it was demanding and this and that, and I would have felt that way too. That Mel and Jermaine are mediocre, and those guys is just jealous. And this, I probably thought the way that whole story was edited, you didn't see the true talent that everyone else had. You just didn't.
Yeah. We saw, and same with the Australian and the Netherlands, all of them. We see what they want us to see.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Scripted reality.
All right, let's go. Episode 2, which is for us here was my favorite, and I'm assuming it was one of your favorites over there. Was the Space Smash, super slow motion.
Yeah.
Stuff. You did the big purple. Was it Goda or something you called it?
Yes, it was Legor, purple.
Legor, there you go. Yeah,
monster Legor.
Nice pecs, nice chest.
Yeah, you can't tell if it's a male or female.
Do you know what's funny? Jimmy and Maddie built something similar with a big like monster type person, and they had nipples. I'm guessing what them two yellow things are on yours, and they were told to rebuild the front end so no nipples were shown.
Yeah, I slipped those nipples in when Jermaine wasn't looking, and he looked up, and we were already on the wait. He said, "What'd you do?" I said, "What are you talking about? What'd you do? I didn't do anything."
There you go. What an explosion!
But you know what? On a side note, Jamie, the Brickmaster Jamie, he loved those nipples. He said, that nipple gave that thing so much character. And it was crazy because they gave us what I think it was like 12 or 14 hours to build that thing. And on the first day, yes, you don't work the whole entire 12. I mean, you work, but, there's breaks in between. And that first day, it's funny because like, you can be best of friends, you can be husband and wife, you can be mother, father, you can be related and go on the show, and it will test your might of your relationship with your partner, with your strangers or not. And, and the first time I seen my boy Jermaine get rattled was during that show. Like that first day, I guess he envisioned that we would be so much further along in the build. And as soon as they say, "All right, we're done for the day," my man jumps out of the studio, and "Oh man, we're way behind. This don't make no sense, and this and that. You got to pick up." And I said, "Wait. We got half of a body already on the table. And Lego was probably from your waistline, from a man's waistline all the way to the top of his head. That's how big that thing was. That thing was huge. And and I'm like, look, wait a minute, dude. Like, this thing is probably the largest thing in this room. We're good. We got a whole
be happy, yeah.
We got a whole another 8 hours. We got time, bro. Like, you gotta. But he was just so sucked in. Like, it's like, dude, just relax. We got time, and we end up having more than enough time. But it'll test your might, man, with your partner.
So your half build.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the cut in half episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yours was yours the big red
the octopus, Robbie the Octopus
drummer, wasn't it? I'm just trying to find a photo of it now. I thought I had a photo. I don't.
We had the drummer, and we had the whole crustacean band.
So what was the half you had to build off? What did they give you?
It was a guitar, man, and they had it on a stand. So it was like half of the guitar on a stand. And I got into an argument with my good friend Jermaine because we spent 40 minutes deliberating how we were going to deliver this thing. And I spent 40 minutes telling him, look, you need to turn the guitar sideways, because he didn't see it. And I say, if you turn the guitar sideways, your canvas is infinite. Like, you have more of a canvas than it is if it's on that stand. I said, if it's on the stand, how you get it to sit up? I said, because you can't build around that stand. You got to get rid of the stand. He was like, dude, I don't see it. I had to knock the stand off the table. Look, we spent 40 minutes, and it was funny because you could see Amy and Jamie looking at us like, what are they doing? Like, everybody else is grabbing bricks, and they're still, and it's like, and I'm deliberating that, man. I'm being a lawyer and telling him, dude, this is the way to do it. And once he started building, Robbie Rocktopus was born.
Right, Robbie Rocktopus. I like that. Yeah. So the half one, especially like with us, obviously that was my most popular. We did the unicorn and bike.
Yeah,
that was kind of the most shared photo, I think, of the Australian series. That kind of went around.
They had the half bike on our show, and I told you, man, so you stay away from that bike. Yeah. Like, you can have anything else, and I was the go for. Like, I said, what? Tell me what item you want, I will get it. Anything but that bike.
Oh, you were the one that was running up to the front of the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said anything but that bike, bro. That bike that's infinite depth, because they're looking for it to be better than the last show that used that bike. I said, we're not doing that. No.
Yeah. Well played.
I guess. Yeah, that also brings it back to, we talked to Boone about it as well, that, a lot of research was obviously done off our show for you guys to almost get a hint or see, where to build, what to build, how to go harder. And it makes me think, I wonder if the judges or the producers in general were like, you guys need to build better than the Australian teams. You can't be second rate. You got to go bigger. You got to go better and better. And then you got to think now, the guys that are going for it now, you got to feel sorry for them, man, because they've got to be better than you, better than our 2 seasons, better than the Netherlands. It's otherwise it's just going to be.
And honestly, and I'm gonna tell you, not to patronize anybody, but my fave, my still fave is the Australian, Australian shows. It's just, I think that the quality of the builds is a lot better, I believe. Even so, like, even like with the super bridges, like, and I don't want to jump ahead, but even with the super bridges, we had less time than you guys, and it was like, wait a minute, hold on, wait. Time out. I was like, there's no way you could do it. And they say, oh, no, we tested it. We did this, we did that. Okay, we about to find that. And
I'm glad no one copied Kale and mine design for the bridge. Kind of failed really quick on that one,
Man, ours would have held up. I mean, but we didn't finish, so but we still beat out like basically almost 2 other teams, but we got sent home because, and I tell you why we got sent home, because it's funny, because people said, man, why couldn't they just slap on 2 plates on the bridge and make the qualification? But that bridge is 6 feet long, so it's more than just 2 plates. It's more than at that point we spent so much time on the supports of that bridge, was that when you look over to the pit, all the plates, all the large plates were gone. Yeah, they don't have infinite number of bricks. They were gone. So we were going to go grab all the little small ones and go, do 2 layers, 6 feet across, which would have ate up time too. So, and that was only a stipulation because they wanted to run this ratchet truck across all the bridges. It didn't make, going 2 plates up didn't make you didn't get an advantage or a disadvantage. It didn't make your bridge stronger or weaker. It was just they wanted to run this stupid truck across, which they never even used the shot for at that point. And it was like, yeah. So I got disqualified for nothing.
So the thing with that bridge, here we go. Our bridge was 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's huge.
See, that's 10 feet of bridge. See, that's that. But that is tricky because, like, the longer you go, the more. I mean, the more likely it's to fall in, right?
Yeah.
And it's that's kind of tricky.
So with like you were saying with ours, how you said you ran out of the parts and stuff that you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Literally within 5 minutes of our bridge build, everybody knew except for us to go for the Technic pins and the Technic beams,
mm-hmm.
and they were gone. 5 minutes, you got nothing.
I was gone too. Yep.
Good luck trying to do it with anything else.
Oh, it was crazy because they had to go out and go shopping right for like a few days before the episode for the Technic stuff because they just didn't have enough Technic stuff for that stuff. And it was like, and they were telling them, hey, what would you think that you need for like, a technical build? Well, technical build, you're probably going to need Technic brick, like, and at that point we kind of figured out, all right, it's probably going to be the bridges, and they were busting open while the show was airing, like while they were filming. Not airing, but while they were filming, they were busting open sets just to get don't put that guy up there. They were busting open sets, right? They were busting open these sets, trying to get all this Technibrick, this extra Technibrick and stuff like that. So, and not only that is that, those pillars were glued in, man. When you glue in Lego, it changes the system. It does. They glued those pillars. And so you can see us trying to line it up, and it ain't lining up the way it's supposed to be lining up, and because it's glued in. And
how good was the suspense, though?
It was. If I'm looking up and I'm seeing 30 minutes, and I'm saying, all right, well, we're going home, and I'm like, there's no way we're gonna pull a miracle out of this one, and it was deflating, very deflating. But what I should have did was, because I was looking around at other people's bridges, and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna hold a lot of weight. That's not gonna hold a lot of weight. And I was trying to persuade Jermaine, hey, look, forget working on these supports a third time. Because I built 3 sets of different supports because they weren't, I guess they weren't lining up or whatever. And so on a third one, I was trying to tell them, look, man, we're going to beat at least 2 people, if not 1 bridge here, just off of the weight, and we'll be fine. Like, let's just like put these supports on so we have a shot. And he's, they got to be right. And then I ended up building a 3rd set. We ended up running out of time. But it was crushing because it was like, we had so much more to offer but we only had 8 hours to build that ratchet thing. 8.
I think we only might have got 10 from memory.
Yeah, I think we only got 8, and it was like, man, and here you go. It's like, the production crew's like, oh no, we tested it. We can do it. They tested it so it would crush at 250 pounds. So they went into it like, we're gonna crush all these bridges. And we're building, like, as builders, I'm gonna build something that you can't crush. So I do, and so it's just, they came out with 300 pounds of weight. Well, then they had to stop taping, go find some more weight, bring all the concessions back out there, put this weight back on your bridge, right? Now, start again. So then they brought out another 200 pounds, right? So that was 500 pounds. They when they ran out of 500 pounds, right? We got to stop production. All right, send the talent back out. All right, go find some more weights. And they did this 4 times, bro. They did this 4 times.
Wow.
They did this 4 times because they were not prepared.
Yeah.
And we ended up having 2 bridges that hit over. And honestly, they hit over 1,000. They just stopped at 1,000. But, Mark and Boone's bridge and Tyler Ames, they were at 250. I mean, 1,250. Excuse me, 1,250. They were at 1,250.
That's crazy. Hey, 12. So what's 1,250 pounds in kilograms, roughly? About 400 kilos?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was. They went and got production weights, like these big slabs of iron to put on the bridge. That was it. And that's why you hear oh, you guys broke the show. No, yeah, just wasn't prepared for what was getting ready to roll out. You just wasn't prepared for it.
566 kilograms.
Yeah, 566.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you that my own eyes saw 1250 twice. 1250.
Wow,
and they stopped. We said, well, we're just gonna stop for safety reasons. No, you're gonna stop because you ain't got nothing else. You're gonna have to get the fat guy that's holding the camera to stand on top of the bridge. You ain't got no
don't bring the big guy into
funny.
it.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because for our one, like you said, the whole brief of it was we're going to drive this Tonka truck over with 10 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
Try hold 10 kilos, and mate, a base plate on a couple of bricks can hold 10 kilos. So, yeah, you're right. Just nobody was prepared. But you think they'd almost be ready by the time your show come around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's why I was like, yeah, and then, in retrospect, you're looking at it and it's like, wait a minute, we got disqualified because we didn't have our bridge up to the level of the pillars that they only use to run that Tonka truck over, and they don't even use it. I'm like, huh?
Well, how do you take the loss? You built the bridge, but so let's get out of it.
You tell me I could still be in it if y'all wasn't worried about that Tonka truck? Like this, it was just, it was amazing. Like it was, and it's just about, and so the second season, the U.S. second season should be like pristine with no hiccups because it was a lot of trial and error with us. It was
for sure.
a lot.
All right, so let's go into the uncomfortable area for yourself if you were to keep moving on in the next episodes after you eliminated. So the next one I think was the storybook scene. You had to make the kids came on the TV show. Remember they gave you like
they gave you the
story. So can't really talk about that one because that was kind of the kids chose that one. So
it's interesting that you say that because you got these kids giving you make up whatever story they made up. You're based off of interpretation, you build this creation off of interpretation, and two teams almost messed around and built the same thing, right? Yeah. Which that can happen, right? Especially when you have like what's called a movie mashup, where you get a genre, I get a genre, and and then you build something that's kid-like, and I build something that's kid-like, and it's wait a minute, you copy off it? No. I actually had the kid genre, like I actually, they made their comedy based off of a kids film. It was like, but it's bound to happen. Like, and it's amazing that it was a problem for me in that time when even like before then, like the Space Bash, you had 4 teams to make a doomsday planet, and I'm like, all right, well, nobody was copying then. So then you go to the storybook thing, and you run into a chance of somebody's about to build a rat. Something they both were about to build something that was similar to.
Yeah.
And they went and they talked about it because the producers didn't want to go down that alley again because that's not part of the script.
Obviously,
script in reality TV there is. And so they talk it out. They decide to build other things, right? But it's got to be pretty difficult because, like you say, if you're living with a kid at home, you probably can understand a kid's language, right? Because their orange is a different type of orange than what we would think of orange would be.
Oh, for sure.
And so it's just so I think that would have been difficult, but I think that me and Jermaine would have survived that, and because we're good storytellers, and so I think we would have been able to survive that Star Wars thing. Bro, we'd have knocked that out the park.
See, I was opposite. If we got the Star Wars, I would have flopped. If I got the Star Wars challenge, that was me gone.
I'm taking the job. I'm taking the job of sail barge in the Sarlacc pit. I already told you, man. I said you would do this. You would do the sail barge, and I'll make the Sarlacc pit, man. I said it would have been epic, bro. It would have been so epic. That was probably the easiest build to do. Like you build that Sarlacc pit, you build a barge, you have a party on the barge,
You got it down pat.
Yeah, man. That I was so mad I missed that Star Wars episode, man.
It's all good. Did you guys talk about what you were going to build in the final leading up through all the episodes? Have you made it that far?
Yeah, we talked about it beforehand, and we had plans to do a robot, a mecha that was like, walking through a city skyline. So we want to improve, because I like to build 5 foot tall buildings, and he likes to build like, robots and mecha stuff. And so we were going to build this radio robot like that was walking through a city skyline, and so it would have been pretty dope to build that.
I actually read somewhere today when I was looking for your stuff that so here in Australia we don't have a Lego Land, but we've got a Discovery Centre, and Henry and Cade's build. I'm assuming it's still there. Is down in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed today that I can't even find. I think it was this page that Boone and Mark's and Tyler and Amy's builds are in California Legoland at the park.
Yeah, it is. It is. They put them there. Yeah. And it's funny because they actually each episode, I guess whoever the top 2 were, they kind of basically like craggled them. And then they probably went either to a producer's, coffee table, or they just ushered them out the door like you didn't see them anymore. They never made it back to the pile. Yeah. And even those builds, they craggled them and they shipped them down there to the Legoland down there.
Wow.
That's almost an amazing prize in itself to know that you've got something that you've built in Legoland, California, so to speak.
Yeah. And I think I want to say that one of them was supposed to. I think Tyler and Amy's build was supposed to be in the New York one, because the New York was supposed to have a grand opening before the COVID shut down, and their build was supposed to be there for the grand opening. But
actually, that's funny. That's the only good thing that come out of us missing this holiday, because we were there 2 weeks or a week before the grand opening, so we're going to miss out. So at least now when we go back, it'll be sweet.
Yeah.
You'd hope so.
Yeah. I mean, unless the whole world shut down, like the Division game, like everything is apocalyptic. That could be.
It's the Hunger Games now.
Yeah.
So life after Lego Masters. Now I haven't got any video clips. I haven't got nothing. But how did you score Cake Boss, man? I mean, come on! Like out of all the cool shows that are on TV, how did you score Cake Boss?
So you know that the other team on Lego Masters USA is Travis and Corey, the 2 brothers, the Brago Bros.
Yep.
And Travis was a Make-A-Wish kid. Like he had leukemia at a young age. And a Make-A-Wish is basically, one of those organizations that, go out and if you got a dream, a life dream wish, they make it happen for you. And so as to repay them, because he survived his cancer segment, and to repay them, Cake Boss usually does a donation to the Make-A-Wish, and so their Cake Boss, Cake House Productions reached out to them to do a project up against him, and Buddy was, he always did cakes, he always do bakers versus bakers. So this time, as a Christmas, segment, he wanted to do 4 weeks of bakers versus makers. So he's got the best, in their field to go up against. And so they told him, hey, look, you need a team of 5 because Buddy is rolling with 5. You need a team of 5. Go pick your people. And so got that phone call, and I told Corey, I said, dude, man, if I'm in, Jermaine's in. And so we went with all the East Coast people because we're in the middle of the COVID. So of course, when you get on set, they swabbing your nose and everything like that, and they swab your nose every day, and yeah, man, that was an amazing, and it was funny because it was right in my hometown, because I'm from Jersey, and it was right in my hometown. I'm like, man, I never knew that this was over here all these years. It was pretty
I'm not sure, because obviously it doesn't air over here on regular TV because we don't get the Cake Boss unless you've got pay TV. Mm-hmm. But do you know, other than going obviously checking out the bits and pieces you've got on your YouTube channel, where we could go to check it out online at all?
I want to say there's an app that the Food Network. So if you go online, you go to Food Network. There's an app you're able to download and actually see it. Of course, you probably have to pay, I don't know, like $1.99 or something like that to watch it. You can watch it on your phone. It's the Food Network app, and you should be able to pull that thing up. But it was a blast, man. We got to build the Ultra Bot, the Action Hero Ultra Bot, and it was funny because when the project was getting ready to go down before we start filming, we're trying to figure out what exactly we're going to build. What's this ultimate toy? And they said that I think they came up with this idea of a teddy bear that was dressed like a nutcracker, and I'm like, what? No.
You had to come up with what? So they were giving you the ideas.
That is a logistical nightmare, and that's like, no, because number one, it's round, so that's going to be very challenging. And then you got this bear busting out of a nutcracker suit. That is no. So we end up doing something more simpler, like a robot, and so. Like this action robot, and it's like, he's got to be 6 feet. He's got to, and it's crazy because I don't want to spoil it for the people that didn't see it. I don't want to spoil everything for you, but it came to a point where like our piece count didn't line up to what we wanted to build, so we actually had to backtrack on a certain thing, and it's like, all right, look, you need to really pay attention to how much bricks you got, because we got a lot less than Lego Masters. And it's funny because like we had a lot less brick than Lego Masters, but the thing that we built was much more exceeding than anything we all built all put together.
So what's like, funny as guys in the chat as well, if you do have a question for Mel, put it down there and we'll throw it up there. Right. Brent, how funny. Celebrity Survivor next.
I do want to go on Amazing Race. I do. So anybody want to be on
Amazing
Race? I do want to go on Amazing Race. But you got to be able to bungee jump, because I'm not bungeeing. I'm not going to do it.
No, mate, you got to get it.
Up again.
Henry will do it. Yeah, send Henry.
Yeah, send the Asian out there. He'll be fine. He'll be good.
Right.
You were saying earlier too, the cliche, the stereotype. They wanted you as the police officer type thing. How was obviously they told you to wear your uniform on the first episode. How was your reaction to that? Or did you put that to them?
Nah, I did. They pitched it to me. They just go, because they're looking at social media. Oh, you're a police officer. They ask you, your profession, you're a police officer, and then the first thing off the bat, can you wear your uniform? I'm like, yeah, I could. Like, I mean, I don't see there's a problem with it, but I'm not wearing my gun on set. I'm not carrying my gun and get jammed up by TSA and all. Nah, she's like, no, just the shirt. You just just your uniform. You could just bring your uniform. And they my department signed a clause allowing me to basically permission. My son can wear his school clothes to school, and it was crazy because I brought all my uniform items over there, and it was like, all right, you got another uniform shirt? All right, you're gonna wear another uniform shirt? You're gonna wear another uniform? I got ripped for that. It was, how dare he use his police status to get on the shirt? Dude, that was not my idea. And I was begging to wear a regular shirt, because I'm like, outside of, like, if I go to work, I'm wearing my work clothes. If I'm not at work, I'm not wearing anything. I don't even have a badge in my wallet to say if I ever get pulled over, and I just don't do it. I don't. You
don't pull the strings that you could, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I want to go out and get a little DUI on or something like that. The last thing I want in my pocket is a badge. The last thing I want. Because then that makes matters even worse.
How was it going back to work after you're on the show?
It was great. I felt a little sad, and it's funny because they, after you get booted off, they make you talk to the psych doctor to make sure that you ain't about to jump out the window when you go back to your hotel room, right? And so
after the show, I got that nightly.
Yeah, and so it was like, man, like I got to come back here, like I was, I was just treated like royalty, and now this is real life again. But But it was, you know, my coworkers teased me, you know, especially after the show had aired, man. They were excited, but they was like, you know, oh man, like, you know, they had their favorites and everything. I wasn't their favorite, but you know,
that was probably the hardest. That's probably the hardest part, having to buy your own donuts again, huh?
Yeah. But I never looked like I ate a donut, though. I don't look like I ever ate a donut. I might eat some donuts, but you won't catch me. You not one stain on my uniform.
Oh,
I'm too pretty for that.
Beautiful.
Modular, there's a donut shop in there.
Which one's that one?
What's that?
The new modular that comes out on the 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, the police station with the donut.
Yeah, you know what? It's that is so very controversial, you know, and it's like, oh, why would they do that? You know, why would they do that? And it's like, why not? Because if that is a police building is a part of a town, if you're making a town, that's part of the pillars of a town. You get the town hall, you get the fire department, you get the police department, you got your bakery, you got all that stuff, right? They make a full town. What I don't like about that police module is, where's the police car at, man? Like, I was hoping for like some old school police car, like they did with the firehouse. Like they had an old school, you know, fire ladder, you know.
Even the diner got a car.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, where's the car?
And so did the Palace Cinema as well. But missed opportunity by not having a retro, like a Blues Brothers style cop car in there.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell it's for an adult, because he even referenced the Shawshank Redemption, you know, with the spoon getaway there, you know, digging out, you know, a little tunnel to get out and stuff like that. I said, oh.
You needed an old Crown Vic car.
Yeah, I was looking for the old Crown Vic. You know, when I first started, when I was a rookie, I had a big old Crown Vic. Man, that thing was long like a limousine long. And I had a couple accidents because I didn't know how to navigate that thing, man. You know, I backed over a couple poles a couple times, you know.
And now you drive a Prius.
right. Go figure, right? It's a lot safer. Smaller, safer, right?
So what have you been doing building wise, or, you know, YouTube? Obviously, I follow you on YouTube and that, and, you know, fill us in what you've been doing since the Lego hype. You know, obviously, other than your amazing build behind you, that your logo and your sign, like, that's insane. I wish I got one of those made for me, but, you know, we all can't have one.
Yeah, I had a carpenter hook that up for me. He showed up with that on the back of his truck. I'm like, where am I supposed to put that? Ain't no room in here for that.
Yeah. Isn't it funny too how many people think that, oh, you're on the show, so now, you know, every week you must get free Lego.
Yeah, you know what? It was funny because I took a picture on Instagram with me waiting in line for, I think it was the piano and the Nintendo system, right? And they were like, wait a minute, they make you wait in line? Yeah. They don't care about any of that. I was waiting in line. I had to hurry up, get up early in the morning, like everybody else, get down there because everybody got the same idea, you know, and wait in line for them to open, for me to get, you know, take a number, you know.
Well, it's funny, man. Like, you know, we work in collaboration with a few stores in our area, but, you know, if anything, Bill is the one that hooks us up more than I hook us up, so to speak. You know what I mean?
It's good to have friends, right? It's good to have friends, right?
He's the real celebrity.
Right.
You know, he rocks up in his pajamas and he's getting it for free.
Yeah, and, you know, you look at us, we're all sitting in kind of, you know, decent rooms. Mel's got his Lego going in the background. Look at Bill's room. He's in a brick pit.
Right. Man. Look, all right, yeah.
Yeah, how's that, Mel? I don't even know how he done it, because obviously with you guys, must be the same with us. They were very security driven about what went in and out of the brick pit and the brick rooms, right?
They did. Oh, let me tell you a story. Like, this is an exclusive story. Nobody else got this story anywhere else.
Beautiful.
So you might want to keep this on record. So there was a situation, like you said, they didn't want anybody bringing any pieces or any material inside the studio where you work and stuff like that. And they tell you all ideas that you come up with in the studio belongs to Emerald Shine, Lego Masters XYZ, right? And so there was a Bible that they gave you, like it was a location to every brick that they had in the brick pit, right? And then you went back to your hotel, you could study what pieces you need and stuff like that, and make a list of the, you know, the pieces that you needed, and to come back to, you know, the next day and grab your pieces. However, somebody made a sketch they made a sketch outside of the studio, and they brought it in the studio with inside their Bible. And production found that out. Oh man, that dude was furious mad. Like, he said, there will be no more sketches. You hear me? No more bleeping sketches. No more outside sketches. He's the next.
Who was it?
They bring the sketches in their Bible. You're gonna be eliminated immediately. We'll just do elimination right here, right now.
Wow, how fun is that? Yeah, Brent, I need one for those mats for my own Lego room. Good on you.
Yeah.
Well, man, it was funny because, like, and I've told this story a couple of times, but there was a whole episode that they binned on our season.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, filmed, shot, finished, completed, you name it. But it wasn't. It just didn't. I don't know what the official reason was, but it didn't feel right. Nothing went right. The brief was out of whack or whatever. And yeah, they literally put it on. Didn't show it at all.
Wow,
nothing.
They had an idea to run a show, and I think they were leading towards, like, building something that was wearable. And, but they never. I mean, they had us sign the document, everything, sign the paper that it was, to do and everything, and they just never went forward to it. And I think because the cosplay girls got eliminated before they rolled out with the episode, so they
that's what they're good at.
So that would empower a certain team just a bit. Yeah.
I mean, and like you said, the girls would have nailed it. As in something wearable, and that could have worked for the theme and the story of that episode. But if they're not in an episode, it'd be like, let's do a superhero episode. Oh, Mel and Jermaine went last episode, and let's not worry about it. You know what I mean? Because you guys would have nailed that kind of subject.
Yeah, definitely.
Was there anything, going back into the show? Was there anything you were told, at the start of the show, start of the brief episode, this is what we're going to build, and like, oh no, you can't do that.
They just said stay away from IP stuff. A lot of IP stuff, and that's why, like, Jermaine didn't build his Transformers. And I'm like, dude, like, even during the Cryberry, during the movie mashup, like the first part of it, and I told him, I said, look, we're going to build this cyber city, and I told him, I said, we're going to build this high tech city, and you're going to build these bots. And he goes, nah, man, no. You're going to build these pterodactyl bots. Just make them look like they're half dinosaur and half robot, dude. I said, they ain't got to transform nothing like that, but they're going to go in with the city. And that's the part where, like, the first half, both of the judges, whatever you built, they weren't going along with it. They were like, oh, no. But they probably, down inside, you could see them smiling like, yeah, this is amazing. But they're like, oh, no, you got to put that poker face on. Just basically told us to stay away from IP stuff. And so, Jermaine just chose not to do the Transformer stuff.
And then they drop on a whole Star Wars episode just for Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh.
Alrighty. So yeah, people have a think. Anyone got so many last questions before we let Mel get out into his day of fun, I guess. Andrew, you got anything else you wanted to probe Mel about?
No, I mean, I feel like we're just touching the tip of the iceberg with Mel, and we'll have to do another one in the future.
Oh, Jesus. Bilsy, you got anything for him?
No. It was awesome catching up again, though, Mel. It's been too long, man. Too long.
Man, thank you, man. Good to see you guys.
And as with everybody that is watching, you can go and follow him. And make sure you do go and follow him. ICEBERG_bricks is pretty much the easiest way to go and find him. Obviously, Instagram and his YouTube. His YouTube is really... I like your YouTube, man. I like the behind-the-scenes kind of chats and videos that you make. They're golden for me. And I'm not going to lie, I steal some of your ideas. So, thanks for that.
Hey. Once they're on the web, they're everybody's.
That's exactly right. But it was. It's definitely it's been our longest episode. We're about to hit an hour. We haven't got an hour at all on a Monday, so and you've kept it entertaining the whole way through, man. So thank you very much.
Thank you for everybody watching. I appreciate you, my man Henry. I see you, Henry. I see you. I want that Chappie, Henry. You got to build me a copy of that Chappie, man. Let me get the Chappie.
Yeah, the Chappie's insane, huh? But he's got a big enough head anyway. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next time, man.
Thanks again, Mel.
Thank you, man.